It's Alex here, and we have the legendary Simon
We're
of the
back.
Simon
I'm
Show. We're
back from the
back.
stadium. It was nice.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
nice. I filmed the vlog, so if you didn't watch it, as soon as this live stream ends, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to go watch that. Not much because of the score, because it was a 0-0, but because of the atmosphere, which is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely legendary.
Absolutely. I saw your vlog, and the stadium looked empty, though. I mean, and it's massive.
Mate, you know what? It was actually quite full. Considering all the COVID things, it was actually quite full. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it ever really like filled up? Have you ever
Yeah,
been
yeah,
there when
yeah.
it's been
Yeah,
like
I've been
super
there a couple
full?
of years back when it was Roma Barcelona, the
Okay.
greatest match in the history of Roma. 3-0,
Okay.
the comeback. And that was
Wow.
full. That was full. I mean, the full capacity of the Olympic was 75,000. Now with COVID, they allow 75%. So we're starting to get back to 100%, but up to now it's 75. But yesterday the fans were amazing. I mean, if you watched the
It
vlog,
was good.
anyone, it
I love
was
you guys singing the Roma, Roma, Roma. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
right. We've got a match reaction to go over.
Yes, yes, we do. Straight up, let's get to it. I mean, one, like I said, beautiful passion, great passion. You could see the spirit, the fighting spirit, the hunger, the determination. We had a lot, chances that came through. Tammy's, chance whereby he missed that sitter.
Yeah, that was that
Uh,
was it was right in front of me, and I
front
couldn't
row,
believe
so
my eyes. At a certain point, he was on the floor, and I thought it was a penalty. Everyone around me thought it was a penalty, but then it
yeah,
wasn't.
it
But
wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. My happiness really is the fact that we stopped the winning streak of Napoli. That was number one. Number two, a clean sheet at last. We get a clean sheet. So I think it's the step we needed, and I believe the next game on Wednesday it's gonna be a win for us. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
say,
the match on Wednesday is so important. It is really such an important match because you know what? There's this trend going on at Roma that they seem to underestimate these matches. And we've seen this with Bodo Glimt on Thursday. We've seen this against Verona. We've seen this many times. So, you know what? It's a really big statement. But
mhm.
I do think the match on Wednesday is more complicated than the match on Sunday against AC Milan.
Well, we're gonna have to look at the form of Cagliari
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
see,
That
you
that's
know,
true.
what's the form, where are they on the table. I have to go do my research on that and see all that info, good stuff. So, but for now, I believe, uh, yeah, the team could do better. Just that Zaniolo is selfish.
Yeah, I actually
Pellegrini
thought it was
overdoing
Zaniolo
it.
was actually one of the best yesterday.
Yes,
Because the one thing with Zaniolo, which many players
mm,
don't have, is the physique. You just cannot lift Zaniolo. There is nothing
yeah,
we can do about it.
I agree. He's strong on the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
He's solid, but just that you could tell. I think from the way he played the first half, where he was running at players and all of that, you could tell that in the second half. I think after the first 10 or 15 minutes, that reduced. So either he was tired or there ought to have been a knock or something, but he didn't have the same intensity as he had in the first half.
Yeah. And my question to you is obviously, considering the 6-1 defeat on Thursday, do you think
Mm-hmm.
yesterday's match was a good reaction to that defeat?
Mm, can you really compare? Can you compare apple and oranges? I mean, in Norway, in that cold weather in Norway, it was apples because Team B played, and obviously in Napoli we saw the class, we saw the definition of Roma, we saw big boys who listen to instructions. You could see the defense. You could see how they stamped Osimhen. I mean, he couldn't breathe. It was
Yeah. The
Mancini
defense yesterday
outstanding
was
him.
top class.
It was
Ibanez
outclassed.
yesterday was top
That
class.
was pretty. I mean, you saw Mancini and who was it? Ibanez stomping towards the goalpost. It
Ibanez was
was good.
my man of the match yesterday. He saved. If Ibanez wasn't in defense yesterday, Osimhen would have scored. I'm not sure
Oh,
if you remember that chance where Napoli had basically they shot and Mancini
yes,
deflected it. Ibanez
yes,
didn't
yes.
stop running and he went crashing on the
Right.
post.
Yes,
And
yes.
then
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, both of them. Yeah,
that was it.
important.
Was it was painful. I'm not gonna lie
It
because he
was.
probably smashed the entire of his private parts. But it's that aggressiveness which I think in Bodo Glimt all the players and
Lack.
once. I mean, you said it before. You can't compare the squad that played yesterday to the squad which played against
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt because yesterday's match, even though it was a 0-0 draw, just makes you understand that there's just one good team, and that is the A team. And I am not saying that the B team doesn't deserve any chances because what I think Mourinho teeny tiny got wrong after the match against Bodo Glimt is I feel like he criticized the reserves a bit too much. I understand, being gutted for a 6-1 win. I understand the frustration, but I do think that you cannot blame Borja Mayoral this much because he played half an hour in this entire 2 months. I mean, I do think, my conclusion is I would give him another chance. I would give them all another chance.
Yeah, would give them all another chance. I think you mentioned something in your Mourinho press conference interpretation. I think you mentioned something there, and that was when we have successfully qualified to the next phase of the Conference League, and we have nothing to lose, then we could give them another
Yeah,
chance.
yeah.
Uh, because you could see something. The difference in the class between the first team, which you saw yesterday, and the team that played in Norway in Bodo Clint, it's like, I mean, come on, 90 to 10%. It's a massive difference. Those guys could not play with the same intensity and aggression. Mayoral, I'm sorry to say, in this professional game, if you're given 5 minutes, make it count. If you're given 10 minutes,
Yeah,
have
yeah.
your impact. It's all about
Yeah, no, I get the
impact.
point. I get the point,
That's
mate.
it. Yeah, make it count. So I mean, just send him back to Real Madrid. He won't even make the first team in Real Madrid. So he just has to chill and play behind Abraham. And you can see the difference when Abraham is starting. He commands the line. He defends. He heads. So he's gonna be functioning, or he's functioning as a semi-hurricane, an all-rounder footballer, and that's what we're seeing. And I'm
Yeah.
impressed. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing. But again, we want more.
We've
We
got a
want more.
very interesting question coming from the chat, which is, are you
Yeah,
guys not worried about fatigue and tiredness? That's a big statement, mate.
yeah. Drink
Because,
vitamin A water. It will clear off. Soak yourself in. Yeah, soak yourself in some ice-packed bathtub. And get some real body massage and listen to some classical music, and you'll be fine. They'll be okay. I'm not worried. Please play the same team all along. And like Mourinho said, I would not, he would not worry if there are injuries, but to lose 6-1 again or to be humiliated like we did should never happen again. No.
no,
Play the
never,
players.
ever
No.
again.
Play the same players, and let that be a message to the Fred Clint, so whoever it is, and Thiago Pinto. If we keep doing this and the players get injured, and I'm sorry, you have no other option than to go and spend the big money and get real players. We got to spend. That's a fact. We got to
Yeah.
spend.
How did you feel yesterday when Osimhen's goal got disallowed? My
Of
heart
course,
just took off for a sec.
I was like, oh, not again. I was like, oh man, not again. So I mean, Napoli is a strong team.
No, they
You could
are.
say
They are
that.
very.
Yeah,
You know who
yeah,
surprised me? I came out of that stadium yesterday with
yeah.
two big statements about Napoli. Anguissa is the leader of their midfielder.
You took it off my
Anguissa
mouth.
is
Yeah.
a big, big, big player. I think he can have a shout to be the future Kante. Because,
Yes.
he's big, he's a tough guy, his physique
Yes.
is something else, he's aggressive, and, linking back the transfer market in summer,
Mhm.
who did Roma want to buy? Anguissa. Who didn't Roma buy? Anguissa. And once again, we're seeing
Wow.
Mourinho having the good choices, but the Fredkins kind of, board not fully agreeing, and it's not because they don't agree with Mourinho. It's all about the money. But I
Yeah.
do think if Roma now had a defensive midfielder with Veretout and Anguissa, it'd be good. It'd be really good.
Quick question for you. Would you rather trade Mkhitaryan for Insigne?
Oh, before I answer this question, let's spend 2 minutes talking about Mkhitaryan, because Mkhitaryan yesterday was shit. I mean, you just can't tell that Mkhitaryan is one of those players, one of the few players, which was way better with Fonseca than with Mourinho. I'm not sure if it's because of the position, but yesterday, every time he bloody sprinted, Mario Rui, what's his name? No, the other left back, De Lorenzo would always catch
Yeah.
up. I mean, if someone sprints and the defender always catches up, then there is no need for him to play. And we've seen the impact El Sharawi gave in.
Okay, but the question here is, what is it the same position Mkhitaryan is playing right now that Fonseca played him?
I don't think so. No,
Or was he playing as a 10?
no.
Because
I
right
think he
now
was
he's
playing.
playing
I think he
as
was
a
playing like
7
Pellegrini.
or sorry, 11. Yeah. He was playing as a 10 in Pellegrini's position. And then where
Yeah.
was Pellegrini playing?
I mean, they had no, because Fonseca played with a different scheme. He played with
Oh,
two.
different
He played
formation.
with
Okay.
two tens, right?
Okay.
It was as if
Okay.
Pellegrini and Mkhitaryan would now play together in the same place. He played like
Okay,
that.
okay, yeah, okay, okay. So yeah, so again, that is something Mourinho could look at and say, am I using Mkhitaryan to the best of my ability? And maybe see if he could switch things up. I don't know, but that is now Mourinho to decide as to where is Mkhitaryan's best position. But again, I think Mkhitaryan could be used elsewhere. Change things up a lot. And that's the thing with Mourinho. He's too, should I use the word pragmatic? He does something repeatedly, and I think he hopes that the team would learn from the mistake. But he hardly changes positions. I don't know why, but that is what I have realized is the same formation over and over. But I think, change it up a little bit. Come on, sometimes we're gonna have to see two strikers, at the top and then see if there's going to be a central number 10, such as Mkhitaryan and Pellegrini playing over it out. I don't know, but he's going to make those changes somehow and somewhere. Or try Mkhitaryan up forward as a striker pair with either Abraham or Shomurodov. He's going to do something. But now, branching off that, looking at the conversation, continuous conversation between Mourinho and Insigne, that was why I asked that
Oh
question.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that
There's
on
people who say,
the.
hey, yeah, yeah, on the
I'd take
touchline. He said,
I'd take Insigne all day, all day. You know why? The main reason being, I think the fact that he's Italian, he can have great bonds with many other Roma players which are Italian and play together in the national team. That would be
yes.
a bonus. Like Mancini,
Mm-hmm.
Zaniolo, Pellegrini,
Mm-hmm.
Cristante, they all know Insigne, and I think he can fit in really well. Plus, he's someone who scores a lot. Mkhitaryan, on the other
Yes.
hand, doesn't. He scores a goal every 4 matches. So we need someone who, once again, Abraham is good, but he's not consistent. Strikers need to be consistent. Look at Dzeko. I knew it. We sold Dzeko and what he does. He scores in every single bloody match now.
Because remember, it's not just about being young. You could be young and slow, but again, the experience, knowing the right positions to go into. Look at Ibrahimovic, look at Giroud, look at Karim Benzema. That is experience. Abraham is still young, but he needs to understand what we call patterns of runs and plays,
Yeah.
and he needs to be smart. A striker has to be smart, not just pretty much running up and down the field. You need to know when, because there were some balls we shot inwards to the center, but Abraham was on the side most of the time. I had asked myself, Abraham, don't you know where you should be? Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree,
And
I
he's
agree.
not that fast. He's not a very pacey player, but I'm thinking, don't be surprised to see a new striker in the summer of next year. Don't be surprised. We need a clinical finisher, someone who is really, really clinical in front of goal. And I'm thinking that would have to challenge Abraham's spot. So do not be surprised to see someone come in and rough things up a little bit, you
Big
know.
statement.
Yeah,
Right, I'm
yeah.
gonna just say something which I got asked in the stadium vlog, which is all the Spalletti matter, and I thought I'd take 2 seconds to explain what the Roma fans have against Spalletti. Now, for anyone
Mm-hmm.
watching interested, Spalletti was the Roma manager a couple of years back, and you
Okay.
all know that Totti is the symbol of AS Roma. He's the best player. He's the player who scored the most goals in the history of this club. So, if you ask someone, a Roma fan, who is the symbol of Roma, he's definitely going to say Totti. So, basically what happened when Spalletti was a manager of Roma and Totti was still playing, it was his
Okay.
last year, is that Spalletti and Totti had a massive disagreement to the conclusion that Spalletti barely ever started Totti in his last year. And the fans didn't like
Okay.
this because,
What?
oh, Alex disappeared. But continuing on the statement, he'll be back. But Spalletti had a disagreement with Totti. And the Roman fans don't want to see this. Totti is the spirit. Totti is the man. So anyone who disagrees with him, will be criticized. So that happened, and then basically, right, Alex is back. Right, mate,
I'm back.
you're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what happened is that in the last match Totti played
Mm-hmm.
before his retirement, just before that speech, that farewell speech, is that everyone expected Spalletti to start Totti in his last final goodbye at the Stadio Olimpico, and Spalletti didn't start Totti. And, that started many, many, many conflicts from Roma fans against Spalletti, and that's basically the story. But my last question to you, Alex, coming back to Roma Napoli before our last thing, which is player ratings, is what do you think of Mourinho's red card, and how will it influence the match on Wednesday?
Okay, very good question. So before I jump into answering that question, I saw something yesterday about Spalletti as well. Were they booing him? That's my first question. Was he
They
being
were
booed yesterday?
booing him and they were chanting against him. They were chanting really
Really?
mean
Because
stuff.
I saw him raise his hand. He was raising his hand.
That's ridiculous. That is absolute, you're seriously playing with me. If you do that, it means that according to Spalletti, all Roma fans have written moron on their forehead. Because you just can't do that. It's very disrespectful. Because all the Roma fans were chanting Spalletti piece of shit, Spalletti piece of shit. And Spalletti started going right like that to the Curva Sud, which is the sector of the
Yeah,
stadium which
yeah.
represents Roma, and it was as if he was going, yeah, that's me, hello. And it's kind of like,
Really?
what
Was
the
that
hell
what?
are you
Okay.
doing?
I was wondering why was he raising his hands, and then they showed him on the screen, and then I was like, okay, it was strange.
Yeah, no,
So I just
it's
said maybe they're booing him or something or praising him, one of the two.
yeah, no. They were
Ah.
it's quite, I mean, it's not that disrespectful. It's just that you're just telling us Roma fans to shut up, and I mean, it's not disrespectful, but at the same time I think he could have avoided that.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Anyway, so now answering your question, the red cat. Ah, on the Simon show, we don't hide anything. We keep it 100. Mourinho deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved it. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be. This is it. He deserved it, right? Based on footballing principles. I know you're gonna say, and I think Gary had mentioned it in the group chat. The referees are against Mourinho or biased against Mourinho. Not necessarily. We've known Mourinho. I love him to death, but the fact is, sometimes he causes the issues by complaining too much. Do other referees complain and get away with it? Yes, but already, if you have been known as, it's been tagged on, hey, this guy complains a lot, or whines in the ears of the fourth official. It's coming. You know it's coming. And when you caution the first time, hey, you know the possibility of you getting cautioned again is going to happen. And I think when Zaniolo was fouled, I believe, he complained again, and there you go. He was sent out. It's come on. We're keeping it 100. He deserved it. Two yellow cards. Bye.
But
That's one part
do
of
you
it.
think the referees were against Roma yesterday, or do you think?
No, 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 I don't think so. Why don't I think so? I know again Gary had mentioned, oh, he was giving us more yellow cards than Napoli. It's a game, it's football. All I care about is there are ways to silence the referees, and the only way you can silence the referees and your critics are by putting that round, beautiful ball, in the back of the opponent's net. We didn't do that. So there you go. I don't want to hear the whining. We didn't score a goal. If we scored, two, three goals, maybe we can whine. But nah, let's not deflect from the fact that we didn't score. We lost 2 points, and now we have to move ahead and look forward.
And do you
That
think
is
it
my.
will influence the match on Wednesday?
This is not the first time Mourinho has been, sent out, and his team won the following match. Even when he had a ban in Chelsea, remember he had to, get into I believe the cooler or the laundry cat to sneak in to the dressing room and gave his speech. Mourinho, so don't be surprised if you guys see him in the bag of a lawnmower or some stuff sneaking in again. Is Mourinho. The technology is working now, so he could always,
Big statement.
do a live video or something. And come on, man, the guys know what to do. It's very simple. We need a win.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
The last thing is quick player ratings. The lineup for everyone out there is, you can see it on the screen. Alex, just to remind you in case you forgot the lineup, we've got Rui Patricio in goal. I'm giving Rui Patricio a solid. I mean, did he save anything yesterday? Because the few attempts Napoli had were. I'm still giving Rui Patricio, a solid 8. He kept a clean sheet. What do you want more?
Clean sheet, yeah, it's a 9 for me.
Right, Karsdorp. Karsdorp yesterday was good. I've seen signs of improvements from Karsdorp. We need Karsdorp sprinting down that line, and yesterday he did that. I'm giving Karsdorp, many occasions, I've gave Karsdorp continuously a solid average 6. Now, I'm boosting that ranking, that rate, to an 8. And that 8 can become a 10 if he keeps this rhythm. But I'm keeping it at 8.
Good one. Can you compare Karsdorp? And I know it is not fair to always compare players. Can you compare him to the likes of Walker, Kyle Walker of Manchester City? No, you cannot. Can you compare him to the likes of Marcelo, even though Marcelo is a left back, Karsdorp is a right back? No, you cannot. Now, the issues I had with Karsdorp yesterday were he wasn't putting in the balls. The crosses were not very effective. He had about 2 to 3 beautiful crosses that he messed up. So I give him a 7.
Ibanez, my man of the match. I'm giving Ibanez a 9. If it wasn't for Ibanez, Osimhen yesterday would have blown Rui Patricio up.
Ibanez and Mancini get a 10 for me.
Yeah, I'm giving Mancini the same. I'm giving it a 9. I mean, in many occasions we have said that the defense had to improve and the attack was great. After yesterday's match, I think it's the opposite. The defense was great and the attack could be better. So yeah, both Mancini and Ibanez get a 9 for me and a 10 for you. Vigna.
Yeah. Vigna was excellent, but he was cautious in terms of moving forward, and I think that was because of who was it they had there? Well, not Lozano. They had a guy,
Politano.
yeah, who is very good. So I think
Yeah.
that was the reason why he didn't, pretty much overlap a lot. So he was solid. We'll give him a 9. Give him a
Yeah,
9.
I'm actually giving Vigna a 7, because I think he left Politano alone quite a fair amount of times, and Politano can be dangerous. So it's not a bad vote, but he just needs
It's
to
fair enough.
He
Yeah.
just needs to, be better in defense. Because, Politano, it wasn't his day yesterday, but if it's his day when we play Napoli again, he will
Mhm,
definitely
mhm.
score. So I'm giving Vigna 7, but it's not a criticism. I think Vigna was great overall. Veretout, for me, gets Veretout. What did Veretout do yesterday? He
Yeah.
was aggressive, very aggressive. So that's what he needs to do. I'm giving him an 8. I think he kept Anguissa, the battle going against Anguissa. Both have
Mhm.
an incredible physique. So I think it was Veretout against Anguissa. It was a draw, so both of them were elite. I'm giving Veretout an 8.
Before we go to Verito, something just came to my mind. When Spinazzola comes back, what happens to Vina?
Oh, I'm sorry, Vigna, but Spinazzola is just on another level. When Spinazzola is back and Smalling is fully fit, and I mean no injuries, the defense can improve by a lot. And if we replay the match in a couple of months against Bodo Glimt, maybe in a possible potential another round of the Europa Conference League in Norway, in Bodo, in December, when it's absolutely freezing, with Smalling and
Okay.
Spinazzola, we will
Okay.
batter them 6-1.
Good. Okay. I say nothing to the. I just wait till Spinazzola's back then. So for Berto, yeah, give him an 8. I go with your 8. Yeah,
Cristante was good yesterday. Cristante was good, in my opinion. Few good
8.
tackles, something he doesn't do much. But it's
Yep,
something,
8.
Mourinho told him to do, and he was good yesterday. So I'm actually giving Cristante a 9. You know why? I'm
Why?
giving Cristante a 9 because, I mean, we've always criticized Cristante. And after yesterday's match, he proved
Okay.
those criticisms wrong. So I'm gonna boost his morale, and he needs to continue with this.
Okay.
Cristante, there you hail the 9 from me.
Okay. Hey, this is an 8. Yeah, I'm not changing that. 8.
Zaniolo.
I want to see more. 7. He was too selfish.
I'm
Who
giving
would have
Zaniolo
scored
an
2
8.
goals?
I think it
Yeah,
was so
7.
good.
Yeah. Listen, Zaniolo. Okay, why do we all love Zaniolo? We love Zaniolo because Zaniolo is strong, runs at the ball, he's able to track back the aggression. But that is not a complete player. The complete Zaniolo is a player who knows how to pass the ball
And how
or
to
score a
score.
goal.
Yeah.
There you go. How to score a goal. Until I see that, it's gonna be a 7. I give him a 6 for that.
No, I'm giving him an 8. I think it's it's an 8 all because of his physique. I think his physique is
Hmm.
something which every single player is impressed by. But I understand the selfishness which Roma fans are getting from Zaniolo, but I do think he's still really good. Pellegrini. I think Pellegrini kind of. Now, I'm not saying he decreased, but at the start of the season, he was a teeny tiny bit better. And I know Roma played these 2 matches against solid clubs, Juventus and Napoli. But I do think at the start of the season, he scored more and he gave those assists. So, Pellegrini, it was good. I mean, he's the captain. He was the leader of this squad after the 6-1 battering from Bodo Glimt, and he was the one, as well as Mourinho, responsible for a good reaction, which we did have. A 0-0 is a good reaction, and that was good. His leadership has been heard. But I am giving Pellegrini a 7 because I do think at the start of the season he scored more and gave more assists. But he gave a wonderful assists, couple of assists to Abraham yesterday, which I think he missed. Yeah, the clear chance was Cristante assist, but I do think I think Pellegrini is good, but I think he was a teeny tiny bit better at the start. But on Wednesday, it's a big match for him, and I think you heard it here. You heard it a couple of days before. Pellegrini is scoring on Wednesday in Cagliari against Cagliari. You've heard it, clip it, and when he scores, you'll see.
Okay. Food for thought. Since Pellegrini signed the contract, post contract and pre contract, and I think you just mentioned it, there's been a decline of form from Pellegrini. Prior to the contract, he was flaming red hot like some Cheetos. Since he signed that contract,
Mm. Yeah, I understand it.
So
Understand.
my point here is we understand maybe other things that happen behind the scenes. The weight of the team. It's not easy to be a Romanista. Carrying the whole team on your back. But I'll give Pellegrini a 6. I want to see more from my leader. I want to see aggression.
Mkhitaryan.
I know.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, sorry.
Yes. So I would want to see, and I mean, let's think back of people like the Maldinis. Let's look back at
Yeah.
the Totis as well.
De
Let's look at
Rossi.
the Ross. There you go, the Rossi. Let's look at even I believe we had Bautista
Yeah.
there you go. Setting key players. I want to see. Do you remember a player called Gennaro Gattuso?
Ex Napoli manager.
There you go. Do you see I want that animalistic
Yeah, yeah.
figure, someone who is I mean, who is a beast, who commands, who shakes. When you see him, you're looking at his death. You're looking at, oh my God. I want to see that commanding of presence on the pitch.
Yeah.
That is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at Chiellini.
We need that. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is what I'm looking for. So for some reason, he's a quiet type of leader, but I want more.
Yeah.
And if you cannot do that and you're not scoring goals, then how could you really lead this team? Come on now. That's just me. Yeah, so that's it. It's a 6 for me.
And the last two players are Mkhitaryan and Abraham. Now, I'm giving Mkhitaryan a 4.
Man, come on now.
I'm
Come on.
sorry.
That's harsh.
I'm
That's oof.
sorry.
That's harsh.
But Mkhitaryan yesterday was appalling. I'm sorry, but if he keeps on playing with this form, then I'd seriously consider on starting El Shaarawy. Right, you know what? I'm a bit too harsh. Okay.
Mm,
Santa Claus don't
mm,
give me those presents. But I am giving him a 5. He's
okay.
definitely not getting a 6 or higher. Because he needs to grow. He needs to be better. He needs to give that impact he gave when he was with Fonseca. So,
Mm,
5. And Abraham gets a 7 because he had the chances. And if it wasn't for Abraham, Roma wouldn't have one chance yesterday. But he needs to score more goals. And that clear chance, which was right in front of me, I was prepared to turn that camera on and just go like that. And it didn't happen. It came to the post. But, I feel like it demoralized, that chance demoralized Abraham for the rest of the match. He was a bit injured, but I'm giving Abraham a 7. And I think on Wednesday, it's a match where he needs to get back scoring. So, yeah.
Mkhitaryan gets a 6.
Okay.
Just because
Average
he is
6.
missing. Yeah, an average 6. Abraham. There's something I don't get. Okay. I mean, there are two sides to Abraham. Number one, Abraham is able to track back and defend, but he's not a defender. Abraham is able to clear out crosses with his head. Okay, but that's all right. That's what you expect your top players to do that. But on the other hand, when Abraham is injured or struggling like he did a couple of times, why is he still kept in the game? Playing half baked. Why can Mourinho say, hey, get out? And then sort of mess it up a little bit, mess with Spalletti's head and put in Mayoral or play with a false 9. That is a problem. Why do we keep Abraham on the pitch when he's struggling, with his injuries? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. That is what I don't get. So for me, Abraham gets a 5. He gets a 5 until he is able to score in 3 consecutive games.
I can agree with that. Yeah, yeah.
I want to see him score today, tomorrow, and the next day. 3 different matches, 3 different goals. I want to see that. because that
Yeah,
is what we
yeah.
bought him for.
After
You
this,
know,
I'm gonna drop his vote to 6, an average 6 for me.
yeah, I haven't seen him with that consistency, and it's beginning to worry me. Uh,
Yeah,
and I do not want. I mean, I know Mourinho is patient, and again, I understand time, but at the same time, in this day and age, in this form, in this level of profession, we may. I need Mourinho to begin to think of Plan B and C to get the best out of Abraham and Shomurodov. You're gonna have to pair them up, and then see. We need goals. We need goals. We can't keep depending on Pellegrini, Zaniolo, Mkhitaryan, or Veritout, or a penalty from Veritout. We need more.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
That
I
is it for
agree.
me. That's it for me.
Right, Alex, it's been a pleasure to have you on for the match reaction. Tomorrow it's a double live stream press conference reaction tomorrow night, and the match preview for Wednesday's match earlier. So yeah, we can arrange the timing later on.
Definitely.
So it's been a pleasure to have you on. It was a good reaction, but Wednesday we need a win. We need a win. Like, it's such an important match. We need the bloody 3 points, which now Roma has not. They drew yesterday. They lost Thursday. They lost against Juventus. We now need that reaction because we gotta start getting those 3 points. Because otherwise, Milan, Napoli, Inter are all starting to run away. We gotta keep the rhythm. Maybe not Milan and Napoli because they've took their train, but we gotta keep the Juventus, Atalanta, Lazio, and Inter Milan rhythm. So a must win on Wednesday. It's been a pleasure to have you on, Alex, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
All right. Same here.
See you, mate.
Out. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Right, let's read some comments and then it's over from me. Quite Banyan had Osimhen in his pocket. Agree, mate. Agree. We could have had Zambo Anguissa. He was elite yesterday. I've seen him yesterday. It was absolutely elite. Gave me those Kante deja vus. Jose has the best eye for talent. Trust his vision. All his signings have been top. Right now, the underperforming players are Fonseca's signings. He ain't good at scoring. Ibanez and Mancini were 10 out of 10. Osimhen was silent all game. Osimhen was a bastard. He was those bastard players, man. Everyone started booing against Osimhen at a certain point because he's one of those players which always protests against the referee. Almost all attacks go through him by the air or so, but self-initiative of the players don't help him so much. Alex, have you been at the Olympico before? Sorry, mate. We'll ask Alex that tomorrow, so remember to come back and ask that. We lacked our true left winger. Mkhitaryan clearly isn't the solution. Al-Sharawi clearly declined. Zaniolo is a 7. He's great at dribbling, but he's lacking in end product. Zaniolo was great. He was the only winger we had who carried the ball up. Yeah, I agree with that. Cristante was the man of the match. They're both striker. Osimhen scores more than Tammy. At this stage, I think Osimhen is better, but Tammy, has those potentials. He just needs to convert those potentials in reality, and he can be the best striker in this area. But up to now, I do agree with Osimhen being better. Right, lads. Overall, great point and performance from Roma. We can all be proud and we will push on to become even better. We showed we can outplay anyone just to take our chances. Forza Roma, win on Wednesday, double live stream tomorrow, preview for Cagliari, and Mourinho's press conference reaction tomorrow night. So stay tuned. If you're new here, please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And it supports all of us so much. On Wednesday, it's Josh's debut. It's confirmed. I've said this many times now, but it is confirmed. Also, follow me on Instagram at Lorisco the Simon Show if you have Instagram. If you enjoy travel, subscribe to my second channel. Link is in the description below. The name is Simon, that's me, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night with your families. Have a wonderful dinner. Have a wonderful TV time. And good luck with school, university, job, wherever you guys are. And good luck. I'll catch you tomorrow. Simon out.